Well, waiting for the circle to. What is this? Try tonight. What the hell? Leave me alone. Software
All right, live on
updates.
YouTube.
Gotcha.
Let's go ahead and start recording and we'll get going. Hello, everybody. It's early on the weekend before the weekend big show on a Thursday here for you. But we are coming to you live from the Law Dog Studios for a makeup episode with myself, Chuck Ramsey, the Law Dog, and ruler of the airways, Jeremy Schroeder. We're glad to be back with you here on the podcast, live on YouTube at Law Dog Sports. You should be subscribed and like and follow and click all that good stuff and give us plenty of support on our YouTube channel. Plus, we also can be followed on Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram as well. And no Facebook Live anymore, as apparently I've lost the ability to connect our our Zoom call to the Law Dog Sports Facebook page. So it's really not a great thing.
Maybe we need to start something up with the Winklevoss twins.
The Winklevoss.
Just another.
No, I don't want to see Army Hammer anywhere.
Well, I don't think he just played one.
He's
not actually one of them.
Well, he's worse in real life. So
yeah, I think he'd be a little gamey for him.
Yeah. How you been, buddy? Missed you last week.
Just living through all this chaos we've got going on right now. But finally starting to get into basketball mode.
Boy, no kidding.
It's taken a long time.
You know, I feel like such adult. You clued me in on it, and since then I've been just really hung up. But the whole Tim Robinson, Jason Sudeikis doing the round ball rock.
Basketball.
Give me the ball, cause I'm gonna dunk it. Yeah. I really love that thing, and I used it. Somebody shared it on Instagram, and it said, if you're looking for me for the next month, this is what I'll be doing, or something like that. You can interact with us on the YouTube live stream at Law Dog Sports on YouTube, and the chat line is open if you want to leave your comment. And we try to put out a little bit of late notice. We could have went later tonight, Jeremy, but I kind of wanted to hit the 4:00 hour. I've got state tournament basketball tomorrow, and I'll finish up my game prep tonight and try to get a good night's rest, thinking about a gold basketball coming back to Weatherford sometime.
Is that still over there in the ag barn on the fairgrounds?
It smells like an ag barn. I put out that tweet a week or two ago about unpopular opinion. I will not miss the big house. I don't have unless Weatherford wins this one this year. I won't have fond memories from there. And I mean, it's great to go watch the teams play, but I mean, Jeremy, I was a cop in Oklahoma City for 29 years. I used to work the fair. I know how much weed has been smoked in that place. The ceiling insulation is a dark color of black that I've yet to ever see in my life. And I would imagine the THC content of that could kill a person as quick as a gram of fentanyl.
Do you know what the street value of that ceiling is?
Not enough for the OBN. They're out cracking down on stuff.
Well, see, my last memory in the big house was watching my Norman Tigers get housed by Ryan Humphreys and Eton Thomas in the
Booker T.
1993 state championship game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Eton Thomas, man, I can't tell you how much social media I put out about him needing to get more minutes with the Thunder.
Oh, yeah. Back
when they're needing a big and he's sitting on the bench, is like, how about Eton Thomas?
Yeah, get him out there.
Ryan Humphreys, that was a guy who he went to OU and then went to Notre Dame, right?
And I think he's still on staff at OU.
Oh, yeah. Sole mission or just on staff?
Huh? They don't have that in basketball.
Oh,
they barely have it in football anymore.
Well, we're going to talk some OU basketball, man. We're going to talk some OU basketball, and we were off last week. We missed some issues going down. But how are you employment-wise? Are you looking all right, out of the woods? What?
Well, they've offered voluntary early retirement. to everybody that is not in a national security position, well, is not in my area.
Yeah, yeah,
So I don't know. I I think I think we're okay.
yeah.
I think
What
we're
about
okay.
superfan Connor Carr? Is he going to be all right?
Man, I hope so. We're gonna need them because they took away our super app, so we got to call somebody.
That's true. Well, it's odd times, and storm season is upon us, and cuts at the National Oceanographic Association, NOAA, and
Noah.
National Weather Service right there in your backyard. It just I don't know what to think anymore, and I try to just stick my head in the sand,
I
almost
think
literally.
they got the National Weather Service thing ironed out. Tom Cole spearheaded a action to get that taken out of the off the list.
Okay. Well, I
But
heard
don't
last night, I thought it was, or maybe 2 nights ago, that it was
is
another
it back on?
1,000 employees. So
Oh
maybe
dear.
that's changed in the day. I know you're flying La Chancla is something that comes to mind when I think about dealing with government.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's how I feel
Well,
daily.
we'll be saying a prayer for you, but if you do have some time off, we'll probably just plan on going daily, and we can really focus on building this
Well,
up.
see, that's the thing. That's the thing. If the government shuts down, I
Oh,
still
you
have
still
to
have to go to
go in.
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
So,
know what you can do while you're at work? You can be co-host
and
of Law Dog
that's the thing,
Sports.
if I've got some time off scheduled, but with the way things are right now, if you take time off, you might just be asked not to come
Ooh,
back.
yeah, that's a little scary. Well, we'll definitely be saying a prayer for you and your family, and that because you've done a good job for this country for a lot of years. And when people want to feel safe at Will Rogers World Airport, I think you're in large part due to that. But anyways, man, rest in peace, Oliver Miller. That's
The
a
Big O, or yeah, the
yeah,
man,
54 years old, same age as me, and
dang,
passed away.
man, what a yeah, he played heavy,
Oh, he was
and
big in
I
college.
and I I bet when he got done playing ball, he didn't get small.
No, no. I
Man,
mean, talking about that, who's the big guy? Who's the Hall of Fame lineman from Cleveland? Joe Thomas?
yes,
You talk about a guy that took off his game weight
oh
almost
yeah,
immediately.
oh yeah, he is shredded to his socks, man.
Does that
He's
seem a little suspicious, or are you down with that?
yeah, whatever he wants to do, it's his life. Hey, better
Um,
living through chemistry.
yeah.
RFK Jr. does it. Why?
Boy, no kidding.
Yeah, I mean he's
Um,
70 and ripped, so
yeah,
go
he's
for it.
he's tanning well too.
Yeah.
Um, no, the reason I say is like you mentioned, playing size is big. Usually, past playing size is going to be big. I've known one guy in my personal life who he played linebacker at a Division II college, which it might have been in NAIA when he went there, but still, he was an offensive lineman, and then he got on the police department out of college, and he was just a 6'4", extremely solid dude.
Hmm.
Probably went to 245, but no real fat, and
Yeah.
he'd worked hard to trim down. So it can be done. Obviously, trimming up from a 6'1", 180-pound Class 3A power forward was what tripped me up. But the trim down is the part that I missed out on.
Well, Nate Newton passed, right?
I think so. I
Yeah.
think he's
See,
gone.
that's what you don't see a lot of guys that are that size and stay that size walking around when they're in their 60s and 70s.
No,
It's
no. And
it.
yeah, so Big O, Oliver Miller, and I told Connor on Twitter because he shared it with us, big Arkansas fan that he is. Um, I totally forgot that the Nolan Richardson years were Southwest Conference,
Yeah, they
or
were.
were they?
Man, they went to the SEC in. I did they
Their
go to the
titles
SEC
might
in
have
the
been
90s?
SEC.
I thought they went to the SEC before the Southwest Conference dissolved.
Yeah,
Because it was always weird that they went to the SEC and they didn't try to jump into the Big Eight.
because Quinn Grovey played a season in the Southwest Conference, I thought,
Okay.
but I don't know. Let me.
So man, I want to say in 92 or 93 they jumped to the SEC.
Yeah, it probably was, and the Arkansas tournament championship was 94, so that was probably an SEC title.
Yeah.
Was Oliver Miller on that squad?
Conrad hit us up. I'm not real sure.
Let me find him.
So we don't have anything in the chat.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, we may have a special guest here in a little bit. There's a guy who's been hitting me up pretty hard, and I think he hits up a lot of things pretty hard. But I gave him a little shout out on the social media post. Coked Up Werewolf may be joining us here momentarily. So,
hey, Arkansas joined the SEC in 1991.
Wow. Okay. So Miller was 54. He might have played a year or two because he's my age, and if he graduated in 88 or 89, he would have been a year or two in the Southwest Conference.
Possibly.
Because I always think of Quinn Grovey as being my age, but he came maybe 2-3 years after me hitting college.
Do you only remember Quinn Grovey because of the name? Because I've never heard of the guy.
Duncan, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Option quarterback, went to Arkansas instead of OU. It was kind of a big deal in 88, 89, I think.
Well, we had the Collins boys, and then we grabbed Gundy.
Yeah, and you know what? I put out a tweet one time and got a little response from Tink Collins, the Ponca City.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But Steve Collins really, had they kept the option offense on par or in the agenda, he was a pretty good option quarterback.
He was, but I think at that point it had served it has run its course. It was time for a change.
Well, and it went from being a staple offense to a novelty offense. I say that even though Nebraska ran option concepts and won a title in 97 and 95, but
that is true. But
you had to have the horses, and you had to go get the talent from California to fill up the backfield or fill up the secondary.
Sure, California.
California. Anyways, a lot going on sports-wise, Jeremy, and we will get to it, but we also, like I mentioned, will be awaiting to see if our guest calls in. Coked Up Werewolf. But anyways, Big 12 hoops going on right now. BYU beat Iowa State earlier, 96-92. I don't have a score on the Houston Colorado game. Did Colorado come into the tournament talking a lot of smack so far, or were they? I don't know. The baseball team did.
Yeah. I am so far out of the loop on Big 12 athletics. I barely keep up with what's going on with Oklahoma basketball, just because of the way the season's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Colorado is down 9 at Houston, 65-56.
Is that still in Kemper?
Is it still in Kemper? Let me go to the game. Go to the old GameCast, and it is.
I mean, I know it's not Kemper. I'm sorry.
Yeah, whatever that arena in Kansas City is. Heck, they could be playing in Dallas.
Hey, speaking of arenas and names and sponsorships, did you see that Penn State is, I guess, going to change the name of?
Happy
are they going
Valley?
to change it from Beaver Stadium to a sponsor, or is it Joe Paterno Field, or what? What's the back scoop on that?
Joe Paterno Field?
I don't know. I mean, I heard somebody say that Paterno would be rolling over in his grave. We need Dan Narva. He keeps up with all things Big Ten.
Well, did they ever take the Paterno statue out of storage and put it back up?
I don't think so, because I think you would have heard the uproar about that.
I don't think. I just don't see them ever naming anything after him right now.
I mean, I know the Sandusky locker rooms have been changed. Rest in hell.
Yeah, isn't that dude still alive?
No, I think he died. I think he died in prison.
I hope he did, but
we sure are making me effort a lot of stuff.
I'll go ahead and look that up.
No, I
don't think he did, but I really
I'm living dangerously, running a browser, and maybe
I got you.
You're probably right. He is alive, 81 years old. Wow.
Yeah, of course. Why not? I was surprised somebody hadn't killed him in prison, but
they say that about prisoners, and what is it called? Honor amongst thieves and all that stuff. I never hear about it. Back when I was back when I was a cop, I never heard about it. They just go along. I mean, maybe they brutalize them when they do that type of stuff. I don't know, but
well, hopefully,
yeah, that is the hope. YouTube stream, no comments yet. I know it's kind of an off time, and then the algorithms kind of hide our posts, but I did send it to the Law Dog group text thread. So if you want to be a part of that, message me at the website, lawdogsports.com, and we'll add you if you're on Facebook. And so, man, let's go ahead and get into it as we wait and see if our friend Coked Up Werewolf's going to call. But like I said, intro, rest in peace, Oliver Miller. He was a big character, and I love big characters in sports, and he was that, and I guess had a run with Phoenix in the NBA.
He did. He was fun to watch with Phoenix. I remember him having a string of games in the '90s where he was just lights out. It was just fun watching a athletic fat guy run the point. It's really cool.
Was he on any of those? Hold on, we may have a call here.
Oh, goody.
Law Dog Sports, what's your pleasure? Law Dog Sports, what's your pleasure?
How you doing?
Is this Coked Up Werewolf?
I don't know about that first part, but yeah.
Oh, is this our werewolf disco buddy?
Hey. I don't know about disco, but I like the club.
The club scene. Hey, put your GIF out there of your profile on the social media. I'm hoping it gets some traction here. Are you not out and about as much as you used to be?
I mean, clarify used to. I mean, I'm sorry, just a second.
Sounds like he's extremely focused.
Turn that down. So, I mean,
yeah.
Where are the places where a partying werewolf can frequent nowadays?
Well, you got to be really careful. Underpasses, gutters, drains, anywhere where the water falls. That's typically where you'll find me.
Yeah. Well, I know that you spend some time in the sports bars. I guess that's kind of the warm up before you hit the club.
Is it a club or are we at a rave right now? How many light sticks you got?
Yeah. Right now I'm not certain.
Those bodies at the bar.
The bodies at the bar. Right now, I'm not so certain that you're actually a werewolf or not just a psychopath roaming the streets. So, but no, I mean you've got to be hitting some sports bars, and because I'm always hearing that you're keeping up with the sports.
Well, what else am I gonna do? I got all these fine females at these bars, and I got sports on the TV.
Yeah.
And this nice little bump.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, the highly illegal there, werewolf. Well, I hope you don't mind us putting your image out. I mean, I know you made an appearance 25 years ago on the Conan O'Brien show, but it's one of those situations.
Ooh.
You probably don't remember it, but you made an appearance on Conan O'Brien. He almost had you wrapped up as a regular character.
I don't know him, but yeah, I'm sure I did. Yeah, probably.
All right.
I mean, it's been a long time. I've lived a long life, so.
Well,
I mean, I know a lot of Conan.
What's the lifespan on a werewolf?
As long as you can take it, boy.
So while you're watching some sports before you start hitting the club pretty hard, I gotta say, I'm assuming you're in the region and you like the Thunder pretty well.
Yeah, Well, I really, I guess, yeah, I like them, yeah.
So I tell Jeremy all the time that the NBA is fixed and that the league's not going to let the Thunder win a title. Do you have any opinion on that?
Well, let me call my boy. Addison real quick. I'll see if he knows a thing or two.
Do you have any dirt on Adam Silver? That would be the kicker.
I believe Adam Silver is also a creature of the night show.
Yeah, that'd be the werewolf and Nosferatu showing up at the party.
Don't be bagging my boy Adam.
Your boy AS.
That guy, he gains a lot of body.
I mean.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's drifting again.
He fits the bill for that. That they had a black Dracula and it was Blackula, and he's the Jewish Dracula, or otherwise known as Sidney Applebaum. Oh, well.
Yeah.
So, give us a prediction on the. Do you do any brackets on the NCAA tournament, Werewolf?
You know what?
I mean, do you have a name besides Werewolf?
You can call me Darren.
Darren. All right.
Darren.
All right, Darren. Darren, who you got? Who would you take as a favorite in the NCAA brackets? There's Auburn, there's Alabama, there's Houston. A lot of people were tabbing Duke before Cooper Flagg hurt his ankle.
Indiana.
Okay. The Hoosiers.
No St. John's love.
No St. John. The Hoosiers actually looking at a possible berth. I haven't followed the Big Ten that well.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely are.
Okay. Well, listen, I tell you, Darren, it's interesting to visit with you. And so what's on the agenda for tonight? It's a Thursday. Is this kind of a chill out night before you hit it heavy on the weekends?
Never.
Never.
We're clubbing until we're dying, boys.
So are you 7 nights a week?
How do you think I got the name Coked Up Werewolf? You think I'm just going up the club on the weekdays?
So when
it's a 24/7, 365 lifestyle.
I tell you, that's impressive. But
we're here for a good time, not a long time. If you know what I mean, and you know what I mean. I know you know what I mean. Yeah?
That's right. Well, listen, Darren, man, we appreciate you calling in, and this segment's I'm hoping going viral because I don't think anybody's ever visited with a disco loving coked up werewolf before on the air.
Yeah, I'm sure they have it.
All right.
Hey, one second.
Yeah.
Hey, can you? No, I'm not talking to you. Hey, can you go to the next track? No, the next track. That one. Yeah. Okay. All right. What were you saying?
Yeah. Be careful tonight. How about that?
Okay, you too.
Don't murder any DJs in the club. How about that?
All right, Law Dog.
All right. Take care.
You are.
That's
I'm coming for you.
That's Darren the Coked Up Werewolf joining us here on the show. So a little bit of a different variety there. He's apparently heavy duty with Adam Silver. That's interesting.
Well, you're going to have to explain to me what the heck that was all about later.
Oh, it's a listener who said they wanted to call in, and I've opened up the lines before 580-952-9145. If I had a graphics person, we could keep it at the bottom of the screen during the stream. But
just tape it on the back of your monitor there.
There you go. But anyways, thanks, Darren, for calling in, and we will always take calls and visit with any of our listeners, and we appreciate that very much. So back on what we were kind of touching on, Jeremy, the Thunder, big win last night in Boston without
Huge
J-Dub.
win.
Huh?
Yes, huge win.
Yeah, I mean, no J-Dub, no who's the white guy?
Caruso.
Really, in a way, no Wiggins.
Yeah, Wiggins did not have his best showing, but Chet played well.
But SGA just really puts that team on his back. And really, Jeremy, it's unlike no Thunder player I've seen in my time paying any attention to them.
And, I had this conversation and I was scoffed at because, well, he's Anyways, so when all is said and done, SGA will be the greatest Thunder player to ever play in Oklahoma City. If he stays. Like, he's got to win a title.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no one else did,
No.
I mean, KD was the closest they ever got to a truly great player, and he didn't bring home a ring. Oh, well, let's see. This team is built for it. I think this might be the year. Yeah, they're really good. I
If
don't see
Pat
it.
Beverly doesn't tear up Westbrook's knee, does that team win a title?
Probably.
Okay.
That team was rolling because they closed that series out without Russ, but
Yeah.
I think they dropped the next round. That team was really good, but it was a two-player team. Just taking turns. Oklahoma City doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. They are solid. They're deep. They've got bigs that can rebound. They got bigs that can score. They've got a guy. They've got a second guy. Heck, they've got a guy coming off the bench.
Yeah.
They've got points coming from everywhere. And then you have your Lou Dort game where he'll lock up the best player and throw 30 down.
Yeah.
The team is just really well put together. And Presti, this is his magnum opus, and I truly believe it's going to lead to a title.
Here's an interesting look at it, Jeremy. I'm looking at it, and your starter, Aaron Wiggins, 3 rebounds, no points. He had 3 more rebounds than I did.
Yeah.
But here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players in double figures on a night where you didn't have your second best player.
And SGA only had 34 points.
SGA 34, 5, and 7. Holmgren 23 points. That makes a big difference too.
That's a huge difference. And how many boards did he have?
Yeah,
15. He had 15 boards.
Case and Wallace, Hartenstein.
11 and 6 off the bench. Hartenstein.
Stein. Okay. Hartenstein.
You got to spit it because he's German. Hartenstein.
But anyways, and then Kenrich Williams, 10 points and 4 boards.
I mean, 3 guys come off the bench and give you double digits.
Yeah, I mean that's how you do it. I'm going to go at you with this, and this is a little bit of devil's advocate. But I said this actually 2 weeks ago. I don't foresee the league letting the Thunder make it to the Western Conference Championship this year.
Well, that's your opinion.
No, I mean that's just
your opinion.
It's not what I want to see.
A lot of people on NBA Twitter
mm-hmm.
are saying the league is rigged for the Thunder to win because they claim SGA is a free throw merchant.
Yeah, and that free throws decline in the playoffs.
Sure, and he got to the line 11 times last night, but he gets to the paint at will.
That's
and
the thing about
paint, you pick up fouls.
That's the thing about basketball and griping about disparity in free throw numbers. A team or a player that's aggressive gets fouled more.
And Boston was bitching and moaning all night about free throws. They shot 63 daggone threes last night.
Yeah.
You don't get many free throws if you don't ever attack the paint.
So I'm going to run at you with this. And then also, I mean, Al Horford, all he
Thunder
does
legend, Al Horford.
Stand at the top of the key and hoist threes. That's his game now.
Yeah, and he was 6 of 12 last night.
Yeah. So
it's a good percentage.
The 3-ball, and it's not just percentages, it's quantity.
Oh yeah.
But what I saw last night and watching it is, right now youth serves the Thunder well. They've got legs for days. I think I've heard that their average age of the team is a year older than Auburn. And that's from
the youngest team in the league.
Yeah, that's from the pencil neck. And I caught him today because, like I said, the radio station network I'm affiliated with carries his show, so doing some prep work, listening. It's like the memo's been disseminated, Jeremy. Silver and the league play so much on utilizing media for their benefit. I mean, there's a reason you have an MVP candidate on a small market team that just gets no play, and when it is, it's criticism. Or I heard Dan Patrick say yesterday that there's no way he would vote SGA as the MVP over Nikola Jokic. I mean, did you watch the Nuggets last night?
Yeah.
I mean, and then Richard Jefferson, who's a color commentator on the mothership. He's going to be in LeBron's pocket all night long, and it makes me sick that he was ever a Spur. I mean, that's how I feel. And so Jimmy Butler at Golden State, LeBron, this whole groin injury thing and the time off, It's just them trying to pick their spot to land and not have to face Denver if they can help it.
They don't want to face any of the top 4 seeds.
Sure.
They just don't, because they're not built for it. Defensively, they can't guard Golden State. They can't guard OKC.
Yeah.
They can't guard Denver.
So they had the 2 seed basically locked up.
And LeBron took his annual 2-week sabbatical in the month of March.
And it's timed out with his son playing in the state tournament in LA.
Yeah. I was laughing because I posted a video on X of Jason Tatum blowing past LeBron and LeBron throwing his head back like he'd been shot. And
that
must have been the play he got hurt.
That was the play before. Was that the play that hurt him, or was it? Because, I mean, if he tore his groin, it was from jerking his head back, acting like he shot. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
He's just a joke.
He'll never be the GOAT.
He's not. You got to be a man to be a GOAT, and I'm sorry.
I mean, my GOAT will go out at 6 a.m., play 18, beer a hole, then play another 18, beer a hole, then go out and hang 50 on you.
Well, I kind of want to get into the GOAT discussion a little bit later with you, as it is kind of prevalent and it's been on my mind. But, today, so you got the media. I mean, today, I think Pencil Neck equated it to the regular season doesn't mean as much because Oklahoma City's young and they come out gung-ho for a regular season game on a Tuesday night, and the playoffs will be totally different. I mean, this is words, not mine.
I know. And we've seen it in the past like that, and teams ramp up after the All-Star break getting ready for the playoffs. Well, the problem is Oklahoma City's not losing any more in the second half of the season than they were in the first half. They've lost 12 games this year.
Yeah. And that seems to be the whole thing that I don't hear these quote, and I'm doing air quotes if you listen to this on the podcast, analysts don't mention is that they are so few games with their actual starting 5.
I know.
I mean, they have not had the full team available really all season long.
It's like they don't want to give any credit for somebody actually constructing a functional roster.
Yeah.
Top to bottom through the draft.
Yeah.
You had one free agent, a couple of trades, but, the bulk of it constructed through the draft, making wise draft picks, not doing things they did in the past, actually learning from mistakes, not taking a Hamidou Diallo and saying, well, he's really athletic, we'll teach him how to shoot. No, you can't by the time you get to the league.
Yeah. 2018 draft, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander taken by who?
The Clippers.
Yep. At number 11.
Yep.
Players that went ahead of him: Mikal Bridges, Kevin Knox to the Knicks, Colin Sexton to the Cavs. He was from Alabama. Mo Bamba, Texas player, to the Orlando Magic.
I think he just signed a 10-day contract with the Heat.
Trae Young, Jaren Jackson. Is Jaren Jackson doing much? I guess he's filling in.
He's hanging on a roster somewhere.
Yeah. Luka Doncic, Marvin Bagley, and DeAndre Ayton. And the current picture for DeAndre Ayton shows him in his Bahamas. I guess that's an Olympic uniform. So 10 players picked before Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And then and that year Oklahoma City didn't pick until they traded off the first round pick, and then they traded their first round pick to Utah.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. They traded off to Minnesota, and I guess that was a 3-way trade with Utah. So, they didn't have a shot at SGA, but once he showed what he could do with the Clippers, who do you think was in on him?
Presti was.
That year they drafted Devin Hall, 53rd, out of Virginia.
G League legend.
Shake Milton was the pick after him. That's interesting.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. So, but anyways, my point being is like, the Clippers, their management should be ridiculed and mocked in public for how they handled the NCAA thing.
What did Chuck say?
What?
Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
He said, "I've been fat, I've been skinny, I've been rich, I've been poor. Clippers have always sucked."
Oh yeah, and so therein lies my other point, Jeremy, is the fact that um, ESPN bought them out, and I wonder if it could be contract negotiation leverage to have other media coming at inside the NBA and also players coming at them for being too critical of the league. Because all I've heard for a month is, and especially from that little jackweed that's on with the pencil neck. And if you're unclear on our terminology, that would be
McIntyre
along with Colin Coward. But my thing is they gigged LeBron into talking about former players crapping on the league all the time, and that gets out there and gets a narrative going. ESPN's running that, so if they can diminish Chuck's popularity in some form or fashion, and also have people quit being honest about the league, well, then you win both ways.
Yeah, I really hope when they bring the Inside the NBA over to ABC ESPN that they let them just do their thing.
Well, you heard Chuck call them idiots, right?
So is he going to be gone? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, he's the face of They talk about needing a face of the league. He's the face of the league. If you
yeah,
for people
I mean,
over 40, he's the face
yes,
of the league.
yeah. God bless Kendrick Perkins, but he can't do what Chuck does, and that's who they would
No.
probably slide over there,
Yeah.
or
No,
Stephen
I
A.
mean,
Smith.
so is Shaq not going, or is he?
I thought all of them were going.
Oh, I didn't think Ernie was, but they might
Oh,
talk.
Ernie's not going.
I had heard he didn't want to leave Atlanta.
I mean, he's kind of the glue that holds all those yahoos together.
Big time. So who are they going to put with him if he doesn't go? Some
Let's see,
Molly Karam or some type.
Malika Andrews.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'm just saying this, and I'm going to follow the playoffs this year because I want to see how your Thunder, shake out. And if they were to win a title, that would be huge. It would be huge for the state of Oklahoma, which I still reside in, for another finals to come to the city of Oklahoma City, because I was there in 2012. It's amazing the number of media that show up for that, international media too.
Oh yeah, you know it. Well, we got 2 Canadians in the starting 5.
Yeah.
2 Canadians, a German.
So let's hope that all the Trump supporters in the in the crowd don't blaspheme the Canadian national anthem. They might get SGA walked out.
Yeah, probably not.
Is SGA the MVP? Do you care? If he doesn't get it, is it a travesty? What's your take?
I do care, and he is. He is. He's been the best, most consistent player in the league this year. He's been efficient. He's added things to his game. He's gotten better. He is top 5 efficiency rating, offensively and defensively. He's the only player in the league that is that. He's the MVP. They got the best record in the toughest conference in the NBA.
Yeah.
He's the MVP. And they have a 12-game lead on second place in a stacked Western Conference. He's the MVP, hands down. It should be unanimous. It won't be, but it should be.
Yeah. Well, I'm for you. I'm not against you. If I had a secondary team, it would be Oklahoma City. Obviously, Spurs they're in the tanker, but man, they aren't doing it very well. They beat Maverick. They beat Dallas.
It's not in the Spurs DNA, man.
No.
You go to San Antonio and you're supposed to be good.
Yeah.
It's like being an ADA football player. You just grow up thinking about winning state championships.
You got to play hard.
You go to the Spurs, man. You put on that jersey, and I'm supposed to win.
Yeah,
it's tough to do.
Yeah, and they picked up De'Aaron Fox, and he's a great player, I think.
Well, yeah, and he's been in purgatory for the last few years, so he's in a place now where he can shine.
Law Dog Sports here with you a day early on the weekend big show, since I've got state tournament basketball tomorrow for Oklahoma High School. Weatherford, Oklahoma is my team, and we're going to be there tomorrow for state tournament basketball at the Big House.
Connor says Shea will be the MVP as long as he doesn't get a tariff put on him. And he also says he's late and that we're both so cheerful this afternoon. Well,
is he on YouTube?
He is on the YouTube, yes.
Why am I not seeing that comment?
I don't know. Are you looking at the YouTube or are you looking at the Zoom call?
I'm looking at YouTube. Let me refresh it and see what it do. Anyways, well, thanks, Connor, and we'll try to pick it up. I mean, we did have a visit from a guy named Darren who's
Coked out.
yeah,
Was it
coked up werewolf.
Coked up
Uh,
werewolf?
yeah.
So,
So
is that
anyway,
his X page that I was just looking at? I was trying to figure out what the heck that was all about.
on my X page, I put the clip of him. He's
Oh,
the
okay.
coked up werewolf. So first seen in the '90s on Conan O'Brien. So you know,
So it's a celebrity.
I've known a lot of those guys over my years. Used to run into a lot of them when I was undercover. But anyways, so NBA playoffs just around the corner. Some regular season stuff still to kind of wash up, but really Oklahoma City's in no danger of losing the 1 seed. And really, they're kind of going out and just kind of setting the tone as well, just showing teams that this is what we do and this is what you have to deal with.
And then you're going to have to deal with that blitz in the second half when they've still got their legs. And
boy, no kidding.
These teams just don't.
You can talk about being in your 30s or close to 40 and still playing. You give me a young kid all day long. I mean, that can just go and not stop till the buzzer goes off. You know.
Well, you got Dort, Cason Wallace, and Alex Caruso. That's 18 fouls of really good defense. You can throw at their best player. It can be a burden for some of these other teams.
For sure. And then you got to wheel your old ass up to the free throw line too. Anyways, Connor, we did give a little tribute and talk a little bit about Oliver Miller. So you weren't here for that. My apologies. Okay. So looking at sports for the next 30 days, it's wrapping up the NBA regular season. March Madness is just around the corner. Selection Sunday will be next week. OU got a win last night over Georgia in the first round of the SEC Conference Tournament. Who they got today? Is it?
They got Kentucky tonight at 8:30.
Yeah, that'd be a good revenge match, and put Otega Owe in his place. Go get the win.
Dadgummit Otega.
And
He'd
then
be so good on this roster.
Kid was from OSU.
Yeah, Owe would be so good on this roster. It's just a shame.
Yeah, but old Moneybags there in Lexington.
I know. Lexington they like to play their basketball players, but not their foosball players.
Yeah. Well, so
Ole Miss Arkansas's final 83-80. Ole Miss in the 8-9 matchup.
Oh, baseball, yeah.
No, that was SEC men basketball.
What are you looking at?
ESPN's bottom line.
Oh, okay. Connor made a comment on YouTube. OU opens up SEC play with South Carolina this weekend. So, for a lot of people, that's the real season upcoming. I mean,
sure,
baseball and softball in the SEC.
As long as OU doesn't have to play Dallas Baptist, I like the chance. That was so prescient because we were just talking about that last week, how Dallas Baptist basically owns the state of Oklahoma, and then OU goes in there and gets her rear ends kicked.
Oh, yeah. And then they pounded OSU or beat them, pulled their heart out and let them look at it. So, yeah, just collegiate baseball, collegiate softball up around the corner. It's going to be a lot of fun. Big league baseball on the heels, too. They'll be starting up in a couple of weeks.
Yep. Opening day is on us,
in March. So spring training going on now. I know the Rangers got a win yesterday against Cincinnati. You know, it's funny on Twitter. You'll just see various things from pages that you may follow. And the guy that does Super 70 Sports, he gets
everything he throws out there is gold too.
He gets a good run. He's a repeat on a lot of stuff. But one of my favorite ones is when he throws out the Sports Illustrated cover with Marge shot, and then says still the worst swimsuit edition in history. And so, but having said that, man, what happened to the Reds?
Yeah, I
mean, they got the muster up to be as good as Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and they have a generational talent, Ellie Delacruz, but it they just don't do much anymore.
Yeah.
It's they're kind of falling into that Angels hole where you got a couple of really good players and nothing else around them.
Yeah. Maybe Connor was talking about softball. He said OU opens up SEC play with South Carolina. I honestly haven't looked at a calendar. And he said
that was last weekend for softball.
And he said Gasso versus Gasso. Her son is the hitting coach at Arkansas.
Okay, so OU baseball will play South Carolina this weekend, and then
Okay.
OU's got Arkansas. And
Okay.
DJ Gasso is the hitting coach for the Hogs.
Okay. Well, good luck to him. So, anyways, but talking about the Reds, I mean, I can remember Jeremy driving around in my first vehicle in the fall of 1990, a 1977 Pontiac Catalina that had only an AM radio, and listening to Jack Buck on CBS Sports Radio call the Reds just annihilating, I think, the A's.
1990. That was Barry Larkin. That was the year
Eric
they
Davis.
started 11-0 and won the World Series, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
Eric
that.
Davis,
Luke,
I think, was on that squad.
Sweet Lou Piniella.
Who was the closer, the big blonde-headed dude?
It wasn't Rob Dibble, was it?
It was Dibble. Yeah, it was Dibble. Yeah.
They had that. They had the Nasty Boys bullpen. Dibble. Oh my gosh, who was a big left-hander? I just remember he was sitting out drinking beer in the bleachers when they were playing the Cubs.
Yeah.
Another big old blonde guy. He looked like a left-handed Dibble. Help us out, Connor.
Big 12 horse and buggy. Yeah, screw you, pal. Big 12 basketball tournament for the men going on. And as I mentioned, I'm sure Houston's taking care of Colorado already. Tonight, some good matchups with Texas Tech taking on Baylor and Arizona taking on Kansas. Those will be good ones to catch.
Okay. It was Norm Charlton, Rob Dibble,
yeah.
and Randy Myers.
Randy Myers was wicked too.
Yeah, those guys.
They were nasty boys.
They were nasty.
I mean,
they were nasty.
They really were.
Charlton against the Cubs, Doug DeCenzo took one in the middle of the back trying to run to first base because he bunted and Dibble threw it at him.
Charlton had that blonde curly mullet sticking out the back of his hat for years.
He throw a perfect game?
I want to say something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, he had some moment of notoriety back in the 90s. I just can't remember, but heck of a Reds team. I think they swept the A's 4-0 in that series.
I remember Charlton took a line drive to the middle of the forehead, and he came out looking like the Elephant Man for his next outing.
Tougher breed back in the day.
That's right. Concussions, that was just like that. That was nothing more than a headache.
Yeah, we got smelling salts. We'll
that's right.
Get awake. Let's see. Norman Charlton, he's 62 now. That's wild. Norman Wood Charlton III, nicknamed the Sheriff. He was a big time player back in the day.
Yeah, he was.
Like I said, that Reds team was. He was there 88 to 92, and they swept the A's. And that was the Bash Brother A's too. That wasn't.
Yeah, it was the Bash Brother. That was the year after they
demolished
two in a row.
Okay,
yeah, they beat the Giants in '89.
Earthquake series.
Yes, the Earthquake series. The '90 they lost to the Reds, and was '91 when they lost to the Dodgers?
The Reds lost to the Dodgers?
No, the A's.
No. 91
Kirk
was
Gibson
Twins and Braves. 88 was Dodgers and A's.
Twins and Braves. I still remember that 15 or 16 inning game where Kirby Puckett, who I loved Kirby Puckett, man, that dude was so good.
Yeah.
Climbed up the baggie to rob that home run, and then that dude was so good.
And that was a heck of a Braves team too. They hadn't picked up Maddox yet, but that was one heck of a Braves team. And that was the second straight World Series that Minnesota just would not lose at home. They had home field advantage in the series. It was 87, I think.
Yes.
When they beat the Cardinals.
Ken Herbeck, man.
Was El Presidente on that pitching staff?
For the Twins?
No.
Jack Morris was.
Yeah, it was Jack and Frank
Viola.
Yeah, Viola. He was
and Greg Gagne.
Yeah,
third base.
Is it Gagne or Gagne?
It was Gagne, but you would assume it was Gagne.
Yeah. Herbeck and that batch. That was a heck crew. But the Twins, 87 and 91, and just the whole. I think both of those series went 7, but they had home field advantage and won every game at the Metrodome. Now's the time when frickin' Dan Narva would help out because the Twins are like his secondary team.
Yeah, I was just thinking of that Braves pitching staff before they picked up
Glavine and
Maddox. Glavin Smoltz, Steve Avery,
Terry Mulholland.
Terry Mulholland, yes. Another guy that played for the Cubs, too, that was
I think Mulholland got voted best pickoff move in the league.
He was a solid starter for a long time. He pitched forever.
Yeah.
Left-hander with a pulse. You
I
could
want
go.
to say, did he go to Houston at one time?
Oh,
No, I
God.
can't remember.
I think he was with the Phillies. I
I
want to
knew,
say he's
yeah.
with the Phillies in 93 when they lost to the Blue Jays. I know he pitched for the Braves, and he pitched for – did he pitch for Kansas City? He was
All
around
right,
forever,
so
man.
Giants 88 to 89, Phillies 89 to 93. He was not on that Brave staff.
Okay.
I could have no Braves 99 to 2000. So I had my
Okay.
time off.
But yeah, you bringing up the
Cubs.
Giants. You bringing up the Giants in that era. I was just thinking of Dave Dravecki.
Jack Clark was on those teams too, wasn't he?
The Ripper?
Yeah, Jack Clark and Kevin Mitchell. That was the
no. Will Clark.
Okay, yeah, Will Clark. Sorry, Jack
Clark ended his career with the Cards.
Yeah.
After
Will Clark and I think Will Clark's like one of the most hated dudes in Major League history.
I've seen him on a couple of podcasts, and he's got a lot of stories. He's actually a pretty good storyteller. I always liked Will Clark. Guy had such a
maybe it's just the Rangers didn't like him. Yeah. That 89 series that they lost to Oakland, he was with the Giants, and so was Kevin Mitchell. And at the time, I didn't think there would ever be a bigger power hitter than Kevin Mitchell, and it was just within a couple of years that people were just he was kind of passed by.
Yeah. Then you had just a ton of dudes. Wow.
Yeah.
Steroid era.
And that was probably the key. So, anyways, so baseball is around the corner. That's going to be great. Connor Carr, he's got a sweet swing. I guess he's talking about Will Clark.
That Jose Uribe. Who was the little second baseman?
In 91 for the Braves?
Yeah, Kennedy. Man, can't think what his name was.
I don't know. But
for the Giants.
They ripped off Maddox from the Cubs after 93, so that had to hurt.
Yeah, well, the Cubs did send Maddox to the minors after he, beat Benito Santiago.
Man, you talk about a catching prospect. I heard forever that Benito Santiago was going to be the greatest catcher of all time.
Hey.
When he was
Santiago was a fantastic catcher. He just could not – he couldn't hit consistently at the big league level, but that guy – he was great behind the dish. Great arm. He could throw it from any angle. He was like Mahomes, just picking guys off the second base from his knees. Just a really good. And he hung around the league for so long because he was such a good receiver back there.
I always heard Brad Osmus was the best at working with pitchers.
Yeah, he was really good. He was one of those guys that he'd work with guys like Maddox would always have one catcher on the roster that he would throw to.
Mm-hmm.
They had Javi Lopez for all those years with the Braves, but he always had someone else behind the plate. Who was it? A Latin guy was his catcher there forever. And was that Osmus with them too?
With Maddox?
Yeah. I don't think he was. He was in Houston for so long.
Osmus was in Houston quite a bit. I think he caught big unit in that 97 season that he came there.
Yeah, but Maddox always had his own caddy back there, and
yeah,
I guess it didn't matter when he was only going to throw 81 pitch complete games and not give up any runs. Never go to ball 3.
Yeah. LawDogSports.com is the place you can find to hit up all of our content and all of our links to our podcast pages, SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, also our YouTube page, which we're hoping you'll tune in and subscribe. I know we threw a curveball today with the timing of today's episode, but we are on social media, Facebook, Twitter X, and Instagram. Please set your notifications to follow us and be notified when we have content. And I don't know, Jeremy, looking at basketball and it just takes up I'm at the end of my play-by-play. There will be, win tomorrow, and then Saturday's the absolute last play-by-play basketball-wise for me. But then it becomes kind of watching and paying attention to things. And, we've got a bracket challenge going on Yahoo Sports for our NCAA bracket challenge for Law Dog Sports. And I know Connor Carr is still waiting on on a prize for winning fantasy football, and we will get him hooked up. You can count on us to finish. Actually, Connor, if you like Lone Star beer, I mean, I've got a new hat here I can give you.
There's
also,
okay.
I want to mention real quick, Jeremy, the team that I call basketball for is the Weatherford Eagles in Weatherford, Oklahoma. And they are in their 4th consecutive state tournament, their 4th consecutive semifinal appearance. And if they win tomorrow against North Rock Creek out of Shawnee, that will be their 3rd consecutive state title. Still trying to finish the deal. But one of the mothers of our twin towers, we call them, 6'7", Tate and Ethan Sage, gave me this. And we take a picture every year after they win area since I started calling the games. And so
cool.
If you can see that at all. 4 years of winning area, and each time we take a picture. We didn't really pose last Friday night at Stroud, just kind of snapped a shot from the stream, but I know the glare's kind of showing up on that. But they've been an amazing group to call. One graduated, or let's see, the first season, 2 seniors graduated. Cade Jennings and Tay Vu were their names. Then we had 2 straight seasons with Nate Rehrman, who's now at Southwestern Oklahoma State University, Ethan and Tate Sage, Jackson Smith, who was a freshman when he got his first start 2 seasons ago, and then also CJ Nixon, our OU football commit. So
Boomer.
Yeah, and I mean, when I break it down, this hat needs to be size 8 for it to fit me. Okay, Shane Gillis, I don't know what to tell you about the hat size.
Look at the size of that boy's head.
It's
like an orange on a toothpick.
It's like Sputnik.
Mostly spherical, but quite pointy in places.
Pointy in parts. He'd move. But anyway, so Tevu, Cade Jennings, I called 1 season for them, first season. Then Tate and Ethan Sage, this will be my 4th state tournament I've called with them. CJ Nixon as well. Nate Rehrman, I got 3 with him. He's at SWASU now. Ethan Sage is going to Pittsburgh State next season. Tate Sage is going to Drake University, and Jackson Smith will be a senior next year. So it's been quite the run, and it's interesting, Jeremy, because we moved out here to Western Oklahoma in November of 2021, and we weren't here 2 weeks before Todd Bruner from Right Radio called me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in doing play-by-play for basketball?" And I was like, "Man, we're still kind of getting settled in. I'd done my last gig was Friday Night Finals there in the city, and I said, yeah, let's jump in." And who would have known? And also, I can't forget the Weatherford girls teams that I've called along the way. Some great athletes that Weatherford has cranked out for basketball, softball, football, and stuff. So just a really fun time, and it's going to be fun tomorrow trying to punch the ticket to the 4A state championship, where they will take on the winner of, if they win tomorrow, they'll take on the winner of Douglas High School and Crossings Christian. So it'll be interesting, but I just wanted to show off that picture that was given to me as a gift of 4 straight seasons of posing with the players. And Jeremy, you've seen me. I'm 6'1". I feel kind of tall.
Not around them boys.
No, I'm like, and even Jackson Smith, the underclassman, he was listed at 6'1" for a long time. I'm like, I'm pretty certain I'm taller than you. And somebody's like, no, you're not. So anyways, but that's going on tomorrow. That's why we went a day early. And so we got our episode under our belt. And I don't know. Real quick, I think we touched on OU hoops. Are they in with the win over Georgia?
I believe so.
Okay.
I think Ken Palm and Lenardi got him at Ken Palm. Was it Lenardi's got him at a 9 seed, and Ken Palm has him at 11.
Okay.
So I think they've progressed out of that play-in game. I think what I saw last week, they were playing Ohio State for the 12 seed.
I see. Jeremiah Fears, just a heck of a player. Really can turn it on when
he grew up a lot this season, didn't he?
Yeah. And everybody says that team kind of flipped the switch after that crazy LSU loss.
Yeah,
Of
well,
course,
they
they did
needed
lose
to.
to Kentucky and Ole Miss after that too. But
Yeah, and those were both tight games.
yeah,
It's just been a rough year for them. But
yeah,
they got to 20 wins, which that's great.
that's that's pretty impressive the way they started out in the
Got
SEC.
to 20 wins last year too.
Yeah,
Didn't
exactly.
make the tournament.
No, kind of got screwed out of that one too,
Yeah, I
though.
think they've won had four straight quad one wins.
Yeah,
So
those quad one wins that really seems to carry the water for college basketball.
it really does.
Connor Carr, off topic, but what's up with Robert Earl Keen just now making a Grand Ole Opry debut? Robert Earl Keen's a Texas guy. He's never really tried to jump onto that whole Nashville thing. He's
He's never gotten out of the red dirt
no,
offense.
he's the OG of Red Dirt.
Yeah, he is.
Great singer songwriter. Man, I when I hear
Storyteller.
storyteller, when I hear his voice, I mean, it just picks up my day.
It
And
does.
feeling good again. That's one of my favorites by him. And thing is for a while, my friend Kyle Eastridge of Eastridge Investigations, former sponsor of this program, he's got the silver hair, long, and had the beard, and I used to just tease him about being Robert Earl Keen. But REK, always good to catch. Also Lyle Lovett, you can't sleep on him either. He's if you're in a little bit of a chill mood and you want to hear some good music, Lyle Lovett's great. There's really not a whole lot of the Texas artists that I don't dig.
Sure. It's a little on the nose, but I'll just throw some George Strait on instead of Lyle
Yeah.
Lovett.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's different style. I mean,
I know.
I mean, if you want a honky tonk, that's George. But if you just want
Honky tonk.
do they still have Okie Tonk up the street from you
I don't know.
in Moore?
Wait. Oh man, that used to be called something else. What was that called back in the day? It was a dance hall.
Okie Tonk is what I remember.
Yeah, I think it was called something else years ago when we used to go up there.
You could hit the Okie Tonk dance and then, or go to Hideaway first and then
Sure.
dance it off.
The Okie Tonk.
Yeah. Anyways, Porter Mosers, he saved his job.
I think so. If they make the tournament, yeah, he's saved his job.
Okay.
Is
it a year deal? Is it don't slip up again, or is it?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if they make the tournament this year, go one and done, he'll be on a shorter leash next year.
Yeah.
I think. I thought he was going to be fired, after the couple of collapses they had. The LSU lost when they were up by 16 with 4 minutes left and lost.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They haven't really shown a willingness to fire these guys because everything is so weird and crazy right now with NIL and transfer portal.
Well, I mean, but his forte at Loyola Chicago was finding those hidden gems and making them. Were they just competitive for one weekend and surprise people? He couldn't function in a Power 5 league, or
hell, I just don't know, man. Yeah, the Big 12 it's tough this year. It was a meat grinder last year. Really tough league, and then the SEC, this is the best season the league's ever had.
Yeah, you step in and, I mean, Texas, I think this season Texas would probably be middle of the pack, Big 12 with that team. And
what's happened to Texas basketball?
It's Trey Moore and nobody else, I think. I mean,
are people going to get fired?
I don't
think Texas broke?
Are you broke? Yeah, man.
You got to pay that down the line depth on the football team. There's no NIL funds left over.
I was going to say, I mean, what do you got to throw at Trey Moore? I mean,
that's true. Yeah. Hey,
I don't know.
Lamborghini only goes so far. I can't sell
Lamborghini of Austin
lease.
Running out of inventory. They're all leased out to the football team. Well, good for them. As far as Rodney Terry goes, I mean, they go to Oxford and lose to Chris Beard, which that's understandable. Ole Miss is good this season, but just the optics of that whole situation is,
even if Beard is a despicable human, he's a hell of a basketball coach.
Oh yeah, he can coach them up for sure.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, it's going to be interesting to see. It's conference championship weekend, and Selection Sunday will be this weekend as well. And I don't know, Alabama pulled off the upset on Auburn on the Plains. doubt they're going to get them again if they face each other in the tourney.
Probably not. Auburn is stacked, loaded, really good. They got to be good in something. They chose basketball this season.
And that's the thing. You step into the SEC from the Big 12, and all of a sudden, Bruce Pearl's got freaking UNLV Part 2.
Right?
I mean, that's just what it is. And I'm probably gonna tune in this weekend to the Aaron Torres podcast. He does a good job keeping up with. I met a guy yesterday at the state tournament. Came up to me and just asked me if I was with Weatherford, and his wife is Cassie Martinez, I think, or Cassie McElroy now. She was a softball player at OU, and now she's color commentary with Plank on the softball.
Oh, okay.
Games.
All right.
And so we were talking about Chris Plank, and he's from Southwest Oklahoma, and he played, sound like some time, had a cup of coffee in the NFL. Anyway, interesting guy, visit with for a minute, and we might try to get him on the shoe. No luck with Bill Connolly, man. I've tried to go roundabout to get him on the show. I would think this isn't necessarily the busy time for him, but his last poll, and I'm gonna plead ignorance, and then we got to get out of here. But I'll be the first to admit that his poll that he runs, the SP Plus or whatever it is, I don't really understand what he's bringing with it.
Okay, what was the poll? Because I don't think I saw it.
Well, I mean, it's kind of his running tabulated poll, and it is the SP Plus. So his last tweet was March 5th. Schedule set. He gave a projected top 40 for SP Plus strength of schedule, and Oklahoma was at the top.
Yeah.
So from 12 games, they have a projected SP Plus of 13.1 and projected wins of 6.3.
That ain't good.
No.
That ain't good at all. You know, and that's a little strange. Not strange, but it seems strange when you think of all the teams on their schedule that are replacing major parts this year.
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss is replacing a lot of guys. Alabama's replacing a lot of guys. Texas replacing a lot of guys. You know, OU's defense, which was pretty daggone good last year, is outside of Stutzman and Bowman, is back. You know,
front seven. I mean, defensive line will be huge and good.
Yeah, you know, Kanik moved over to offense, so he's not going to get lost back there in the secondary anymore.
I was going to ask you about that. What you thought?
Okay, Kanik is by all accounts, man, he's a great kid. Came to OU when he didn't have a scholarship because he wanted to play for Brent Venables. Never played linebacker,
kid, right?
Huh?
Isn't he from Junction, Kansas, or somewhere?
He's from Salina.
Okay, right there.
Yeah. Anyways, he always played quarterback, running back in high school. Venables recruited him as a linebacker just off his athletic talent. Comes to OU. Looks great. You know, first part of his first season at OU, I thought this guy's going to be a stud. Conference season starts. It seemed like he was always lost, stepped slow on everything, thinking while he's playing.
Yeah.
You know, maybe change the tight end would.
How tall is he? He's not.
6'2". He's 6'2". He's going to be he'll be that H-back hybrid tight end that
What do we got going with our 290-pound tight end?
He's 276. Davin Mitchell. Well, outside of being an absolute unit, you know, he moves well. He looks the part.
Okay. So anyway, Bill Connolly, he put that out. He said, reminder, the strength of schedule rating is the projected win percentage an average top 5 team could expect against the schedule. OU and Florida, who are at the top of his list, would need to be top 5 caliber to even go 9-3.
The schedule is set up.
Is that the undoing of Brent Venables?
It could be.
Yeah. He's got projected wins that I see here, the highest, Ohio State 10.4 and Penn State 10.2.
Okay.
Michigan 9.3, Oregon
Now they lost that big tight end who was just a stud.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State's not returning a quarterback. Remember, they had to go dip into the Purple Kitties to get them a quarterback last year to win a Natty.
Yeah,
because the cupboard was bare or really young at quarterback. I don't know what they've got coming in this year.
And they had no intention of giving Kyle McCord a shot, and he could go day two.
Yeah, I know, right?
He wowed him at the combine.
Yeah, he'll go before Will Howard.
Really, looking at this, Jeremy, I mean, he's got just a bunch of SEC teams hovering around 8 and 9 wins. I think
league.
It looks to me like probably, let's see, Texas 9.1, Georgia 9. Alabama 9.6 projected wins. So he's they'll just beat each other up kind of like last season, and some of the odd man out. So
some team that's got playoff aspirations is going to get hammered like Alabama did last year when they came to Norman.
Yep. So Auburn at 6.9, so they're just barely above Oklahoma, and the kid Jackson Arnold, he went there, right?
Yes.
He didn't go to okay.
But then they took another quarterback in the portal right after they signed him.
Yeah. Mississippi State at 4.1 and Arkansas at 5.3. So anyways, that's interesting, and I would love to get Bill Connolly on the show sometime if we had a chance. But let's go ahead and work on getting out of here. Jeremy, what do you got going for the weekend?
Oh, I don't even know. Do some laundry. Hang out with the kid, wife. Daughter got her driver's license yesterday. So
Whoa.
I know, right? Doesn't seem possible, but here we are.
She driving the new rig?
No, she's got the Jeep.
Okay. She doesn't get behind the wheel of the new rig?
No.
Ever?
Never. Not yet. She hasn't expressed a desire yet. So.
All right. Maybe she likes her Jeep. So, tell her congratulations. And I think about her every day that I look at my Baker Mayfield pop football thing right behind me here.
Funko Pop. Yeah.
Funko Pop, yeah. Which was a gift from your lovely daughter, so thank her for that again. But no, for me, it's basketball if we keep winning, and I'll be done Saturday afternoon if we play in a championship game. And just, man, everybody positive energy and goodwill towards the Weatherford Eagles because last week it was interesting with people rooting against a team that had two players with ankle monitors on the court.
What?
Yeah, you need to follow some OK Preps on Twitter. But anyways, send some positive energy towards Weatherford this weekend as they try to win a title against a system that doesn't really assist smaller towns in winning titles. I'll just leave it at that.
Let the eagle soar, huh?
Let that eagle soar once more. And you know what's funny, Jeremy, is most of the people, they may not realize that phrase came from that goofy John Ashcroft YouTube video where he's singing Let the eagle soar. Anyway, hey, man, thanks for coming on. And we were early, but it's great to be back here after a week off, and we'll look at next week as well.
You bet.
He's Jeremy Schroeder, ruler of the airways. I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Law Dog. This is the Weekend Big Show, powered by Law Dog Sports. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Facebook at Law Dog Sports. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please, please, please subscribe at Law Dog Sports. And then also listen to our podcast at your convenience on our podcast pages on SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon, and Apple. You can find all of those on the website, Law Dog Sports. Be safe out there.
Press that like button.
Press the like. Please press. It takes 0.3 seconds. Press the like button. And he's Jeremy. I'm Chuck. Have a great weekend. Be safe out there. Don't text and drive. And sure, don't drink and drive. And we'll talk to you next week.
Oh. Man, this seasonal allergies are kicking my butt.